You hear me? Yo, you hear me? I want to talk to God, but will he talk back? Temptation from tall stacks and all that. Maybe he gon' read it if I put it on paper. I'm worried about that. Y'all be thinking I'm
Hey there, this is MC Cashe, and this is the Wrap Up the Month podcast video chat thing I'm doing to just connect to viewers more and listeners and my audience overall. And this is my guest, the one of the founders of UpData itself, and his name is Chase Combs.
What up, people?
What up, people?
We're back.
All right. So you asked me a question before this started. The freeze. How'd the freeze go for you?
The biggest freeze that we've seen in centuries. I don't even want to talk about it, but so we lost power like everybody else kind of during the middle of the night. And then we sort of thought this was going to be like a 2-day thing without power or water. Mm-hmm. And then it ended up lasting a week before we got like a response back. The power came back on 2 days later, which was awesome because I was going to lose my mind if it didn't. But the water situation was a bit worse.
Yeah.
Because everybody's like pipes were frozen. So the plumbers were booked. So long story short, we ended up not getting any water until like 2.5 weeks later. So things were pretty stinky in here.
So did y'all have a generator or no? Nothing?
We're gonna have a generator, which would have been a good idea, but honestly the power situation wasn't that bad because it came back on the same day it went out.
Yeah.
But sorry about that.
You're fine.
But so I mean that wasn't really the issue, but like the water situation was horrible because not only did our water well need to be replaced, but when we did have water, it was like leaking into the kitchen. So very bad stuff. Lots of replacement, and we still haven't fixed everything yet, but it's a lot better now.
So none of our pipes broke, actually, because I turned the water off at the road, and just drained it because we knew the freeze was coming. Mm-hmm. But as far as power goes, that's a bad situation.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
bad situation.
That was not fun.
It was like cold fast.
It was about like 40 degrees inside. Yeah, you could literally see your breath when you're in bed, and that's just the weirdest fucking thing.
So Kira woke me up that morning, early in the morning, and she was like, my wife, Kira, she woke me up, and I was like, it was lower than 40. It was like, I don't know. That night it had hit like 9 degrees.
Yeah.
Then so the morning comes, it's a little bit warmer, but not much, and we live in what we live in. There's not a whole lot of insulation.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking it's about like 15 to 20 degrees.
Yeah.
And I'm laying there and I'm like, I don't know what it is. When I sleep, I can sleep through anything. I could have slept if it was like below 30.
Yeah.
And it was, but she said, Caleb, we need to go. We need to get out of here. They're like, we need to go. Your parents have a generator. Let's go stay there. And I'm like half asleep, and I'm like very angry when I wake up.
Yeah.
Like, just wrap up in more blankets. Just wrap up in blanket. And she goes, Caleb, and I'm like, why are you doing this right now? I'm like, I just want to go back to sleep.
I want to sleep.
Honestly.
Trying to sleep past all this. That's how I wanted to be, man.
I'll be fine. Just calm down.
Yeah, just
Uh,
sleep it away.
that hasn't happened to Houston in like 40 something years or 30 years. Or it's just something crazy like that.
I'll say, like, when I woke up in the morning and I looked outside and it was just snow everywhere.
It's
Holy
trippy
shit.
down here to see that.
Yeah,
'Cause I've been
that's
to Colorado and I've seen it, but it's like it's
yeah. That's natural. That's where it should be.
yeah.
Texas doesn't need snow. At least South Texas. But damn. Yeah, it was a rough time. Lots of fun. Not really, but the snow was cool, I guess.
Yeah, me and Kira were driving and there's snow everywhere. So it just kind of seemed surreal. Like it's like, oh, like Colorado came to us. Like
Yeah, yeah. This wasn't supposed to happen, but it's all right, I guess. Yeah. Yeah, and the roads were pretty bad too. I
yeah.
think there was like a really big pileup on
Yeah,
I
over I think on that new highway or something.
99, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was super bad. So I was like, I'm not really comfortable driving around when it's all snowy and icy and shit, but you got to get to work somehow, I guess.
Yeah, that was bad indeed. My school was still technically open, right? But I got to drive 40 minutes to school on the highway.
Oh, good.
So I was like, nah, I'll stay home
Yeah,
this week.
yeah. Do something online instead.
um, so I wanted to talk about how Up Data started, okay?
Okay.
Because that was kind of both of our thing, having an idea of a podcast that kind of encumbered music and other topics.
Yeah,
Because
entertainment.
yeah, entertainment, right? Media.
Yeah.
And so what was, what were your thoughts on that when it was starting?
Well, when it was starting, it was like a really fun idea to just chill out and basically shoot the shit with you. And just have like a dedicated hour to do that, you know? That was a
Yeah,
lot of fun. Because I think that was after we had graduated school and stuff and we were doing our own thing.
yeah.
Um,
Well, I
so
got my GED.
yeah, yeah.
I didn't
So,
necessarily graduate.
no disrespect intended. But yeah, it was just a lot of fun to do it in the beginning, at least, and talk about what we all like to talk about, which is like, music, games, movies, shows, stuff like that. So
Whatever came up that week. I I thought it was cool because I like doing stuff with my friends and keeping people close and you know, like it's kind of like when little kids they like mark a tree, not the heart, you know what I'm saying, but just like their
yeah,
initial.
yeah, yeah.
And
Yeah.
it's just kind of like my own version of that. Like we were here, we did this together.
Yeah.
My friendship, my homie, my whatever.
Mhm.
So it was kind of cool to do a little stamp on that. Like how often did we do it?
I think we met up every week,
Every week. That was a
and we
lot.
started. We did it every week, and then we started doing like every 2 weeks, I think, something like
Yeah, we realized fast that was
that. Unattainable. We were burning each other out.
we need topics for an hour every week.
Yeah.
But I think what the good idea was is that we just like every 2 weeks we'd stack like a couple episodes while we're here, and then we'd have
Mhm.
one for every week.
Yeah.
Um, Yeah, I missed that, honestly. That was very fun.
Hmm.
But I mean, you had your job and you had, I think you were doing school at the same time.
Yeah,
And I wanted to do more uh content than we were doing. So
yeah.
it was probably a
We
lot.
had a lot of gameplay videos too that never got edited just because we were so busy, you know.
Yeah.
Um, but it was still a lot of fun. It was especially fun
it
when we
was
got
it was definitely more fun playing those games than editing them.
yeah,
'Cause then
and
it's
yeah.
like I did this for fun. Why am I doing this?
um, it was also like a lot of fun to have the guests on. Anybody
Yeah.
we bring on extra that wasn't just us two was
Yeah.
really fun interacting with everybody.
I remember one specifically that was Jordan that was always interesting.
Yep.
It was a little
Yeah.
bit over the top.
That yeah, it added some flavor for that week, but yeah, it was really good.
Oh man. So do you still play video games a lot?
Yeah,
Yeah.
play
What do
it like occasionally now. It's not as much anymore, but yeah, I keep up with the news at least.
yeah, what do you play now?
Um, let's see. Right now, I'm playing Red Dead Online.
Is
Uh,
that good? Is it good still?
eh, it's okay. I don't know if they had these when it first started, but they added roles, so you can be like a trader or a bounty hunter
I
or
saw that. I had gotten out of it before that happened. Yeah.
yeah. They haven't. They added moonshiner, which is kind of cool. You can have like your own bar now. Um,
Oh,
but they haven't really added a lot with in the past few months.
they're
So it's
too
kind of
focused on GTA.
yeah, they're kind of focused more on that than Red Dead. Like they have this thing called the Outlaw Pass, which is like this paid uh tiered thing that you can buy where it's like the more you play, the more rewards you get and unlock. And This recent one has just been pretty much shammed by the community. Everybody
Really?
hates it. Yeah, because it's just like the cosmetic they added was like a straw beard and a middle finger emote. That's really about it. So people are like, we have nothing to do in this game anymore.
so,
So they're
so
focusing on GTA Online more than
oh, definitely. Dude, you get a straw beard and a middle finger emote, and they're flying around in like hover carts and
yeah, they got all this cool stuff. They got a new map or something going on.
yeah,
It's
they
just
get
crazy.
heists every month.
You're right, yeah. So rip Red Dead.
Dr. Dre actually made an appearance in that a new GTA update
Oh
or
really?
whatever. Yeah,
Oh my
him and
god.
Jimmy Iovine, the president of Interscope.
Wow. That's pretty good though. So yeah, they are focusing on
They
GTA Online more.
definitely focusing on that.
They'll hit up all those people for it.
You're not seeing any like Sam Elliott cameos or any Western people
Oh
like
no,
Doc Holliday or whoever.
no. Yeah,
Oh
they're
man,
but yeah. Other than that, I just been sort of checking out whatever comes up on Game Pass. That's been a big part of my gaming stuff now. Um, they micro did you see Microsoft finalized the acquisition with Bethesda?
oh they wait.
They
Who?
Microsoft,
Microsoft acquired Bethesda.
yeah, they finalized the deal like a few weeks ago.
What do you think that means?
It means exactly what happened. So Bethesda is Microsoft now, is a part of Microsoft.
So do you think that'll be good for Bethesda or bad for Bethesda?
Well, considering what they've been putting out lately, I'm assuming it's going to be good for them because you
That's what I'm
know,
thinking. Like probably less bugs, less.
yeah, they're going to have a lot more financial freedom too with Microsoft
Yeah, I
helping
think
them
so.
and stuff. But so like to add on to that, they added almost all of Bethesda's games to Game Pass.
Yeah,
So they got like Dishonored 1 and 2, all of the Doom franchise, the entire Fallout series. They got all of Elder Scrolls, so Skyrim, Oblivion, and the online stuff. It's just fucking crazy. But
is that is Bethesda isn't the ones who own Knights of the Old Republic, right?
no, that's BioWare. And
Okay, I
yeah,
always get Bethesda and BioWare confused.
yeah, no, no. So yeah, it's wild how much stuff that they're adding to Game Pass and all the support they got. So like I think you told me about this game, but it was called Empire of Sin.
Yeah,
Uh, it's like a turn-based mafia game.
yeah,
Like
that is a badass game.
yeah, they added that to Game Pass.
Oh, you should get that. That's a good
Yeah,
game.
I was so close to buying it too, and they
How much
added it.
is it
I was
going
like,
for?
I think it's $40. I
Oh,
could,
that is a little
but
steep.
I think it's $40.
But it's a good game, and it's like historically accurate for
Yeah,
the
yeah,
mafia in Chicago in the
yeah, and
1930s.
yeah, exactly. That's why I was like, I want to get this game, but I'm not sure if I want to spend the money yet. Uh,
I,
so
I
yeah,
don't think it, honestly. I don't think it's worth that. But I think if it went down to 30, I think I'd buy it again.
yeah. Well, since it's on Game Pass, it's only like $15.
Oh,
Like,
okay. Then there
oh
you go.
yeah. And plus, you know, you get all those Bethesda games, and then they're adding Star Wars Squadrons, which is that um, Star Wars uh, ship battle simulator,
Yeah,
and then they're adding um, Outriders, which is like a third-person co-op shooter that's supposed to
I've
be.
seen that. I saw that on the store recently.
Yeah, yeah. That's coming out on the first, uh, so that's pretty cool. And they got the entire Yakuza series on there, which is like the what is it, Japanese mafia stories. It's
Oh,
really, yeah. So they got a bunch of like mafia shit on there now.
okay.
You know, it's pretty good what you can get with only like $15.
Yeah,
You get like access to everything now. And not only that, they got EA stuff on there. All of EA's library.
yeah. Okay,
So
that's pretty.
anything and that would be BioWare too. So
Dude, I hope they do something with Knights of the Old Republic, man. I hope they make a third installment.
I think there is a Star Wars game in development, but I don't know who's doing it. I know BioWare has they're making a new Mass Effect and a new Dragon Age. So
Yeah, they're pretty busy.
yeah, pretty busy boys over there. Probably
Too
won't be
busy for
doing
the game
much.
that I want.
Yeah. But maybe. So I mean, yeah, that's the big news that's going on in you know, the gaming sphere.
Yeah.
So
Man, I'm haven't been playing as much as I used to, but I
yeah,
still love to do
me either. I'm really good at keeping up with the news though.
it.
That's about all I'm good at.
um, yeah. So there's movies.
Yeah.
Sure, what I was thinking when I wrote that down. Huh.
Well, did you see they released Justice League on HBO
Yes.
Max?
Did you watch it?
I haven't watched it yet, but a coworker of mine did,
Uh,
and he was saying it was like 4 hours long or something,
yep.
and they added a shit ton of stuff.
Yep.
So I'm kind of looking at it now, kind of trying to watch it now, you know, because before I heard a lot of reviews that I was kind of like, eh.
I I think it completely redeems that movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually gives it like a narrative.
Oh my god. Okay, then yeah, I gotta see it then.
Yeah,
Because that was my biggest like. I don't really care about watching it then if it's not that good.
yeah, more of the same, but
Yeah, just
like
another DC movie.
well, the original was like it's just like a DC like that's what that seems like what they did. It's just like, okay, here's all the characters. There you go. It's the Justice League.
Look at it. Look
Now
at it.
here's an
You're a
hour of
Marvel.
it. There was yeah, yeah. It's kind of like Marvels.
It really did seem like they were trying to like push for the Avengers part of the
Yeah, and there was
way too fast.
yeah, too fast. There's no build up, but in this movie they actually give it build up. They give the characters their due.
Yeah, yeah.
So like Cyborg and all that, they all have like interjected stories now to kind of build that.
Hey,
It's not as good as the Avengers because they didn't have 2 movies to do it. But
right. Yeah, exactly. But
you know,
um if it redeems that, then that's pretty good to me.
yeah.
Um I haven't really been much of a fan of DC movies. I mean, I think a lot of people feel the same, but um I've been really waiting and hoping for them to just, hit some gold or just put something out there that's like really, really good. I think the Joker movie was part of that step forward.
Hmm.
And now that they've like kind of reimagined Justice League,
Yeah,
or not reimagined it, but like made it better, fixed it is a better word.
yeah. Well,
Uh,
it's definitely the epilogue that makes the movie.
oh, really?
Because it really shows what Zack Snyder's original vision was, where it was going to go,
Hmm.
and it just makes sense now.
Yeah, yeah. Um,
Uh,
so
yeah,
on that note, for superheroes and stuff, there's the new Disney series, The Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
I started that too.
Okay. I haven't seen it just yet, but I will. um, but I wanted to know how you were finding it. How you
I,
were in.
yeah,
Well,
well, for starters, I loved WandaVision,
okay. Yeah.
so
That.
that I think they're going the right way with that. Then a lot of people were disappointed about that finale, but I think I think it was just overhyped by the audience. But the the first episode of the Falcon and Winter Soldier, it was like kind of like a lot of building,
Okay.
and
Standard
so
like
it's like you can see where it's going, and there's I'm not going to give any spoilers, but there's a lot of building to it in the first episode, but of course that's what happens. It was
yeah.
the same for WandaVision. Like you're like, what? What is this?
Okay. Me too.
But I think at the rate this is going, it's going to be an even better series than WandaVision.
Nice. Yeah. Yeah. I'm really excited for all these like new TV shows and stuff. It's gonna be because waiting for a movie to come out every every other year or so is kind of getting annoying. Because Marvel's sort of presenting it in sort of like this is a TV show technically, but it's
Yeah.
really not, but it is. You know,
Yeah, and they'll have more
more content. That's
they'll have way more content this year
yeah.
than they have
That's
in previous
not
years because
surprising.
they've had a year break to
Yeah.
do
That's
and
true.
create and film.
Hmm.
Um so yeah, the movies, those I'm always up to date on Marvel movies, bro.
Yeah. I figure.
Always.
Yeah.
It's like crack to me. Um uh so I was gonna ask you what you thought about the latest MC Cash single.
Oh man, that was a doozy.
That wasn't too.
That one was a doozy.
I laughed. I
I,
haven't gotten that review yet. I'm glad I have
really?
the review.
What have the reviews been like then?
Well, from people in my circle, they're kind of like, I don't know. So, people in my circle, the people who helped me create that song,
Yeah.
are kind of, when we get together, we're kind of like, yeah, that would be good if we did that. That would be like, kind of like, conniving, like, plotted, like, yeah, oh, that sounds really good.
Yeah.
But once it goes to like my outside of music circle,
Okay.
they're like, oh my god. so, so it's kind of like a darker song, so that you get mixed reactions with that type of
Yeah.
style.
I don't know. I definitely like the direction of it's a story.
Yeah.
I always love songs that are a story.
Mhm.
Um, and the way that it's told too. And I love the name of it, High School Poetry. It's really that's really fucking good.
Yeah, I I don't know. That was actually the working title. I was planning on replacing that title down the line, but I was like, High School Poetry works, just because the way I wrote the verses, it is poetic, and that's what you're like in high school. That's what you're learning is poetry and like all that stuff. So it just fits so well. I think it was what I really like about that song is that all the stories are connected
Yeah,
and you're
yeah,
doing it from the perspective of different people.
yeah. Yeah, I really like the how it all connected on the final verse.
Yeah.
I was just like gone back to the beginning technically,
Yeah.
but yeah, that was and at the end too. That was a really good send off note. So
Well,
yeah.
it's just what that song's really about is that everyone has like in when something bad like that happens and you see it on the news, you just think that terrible kid just took those lives. But I think it's not necessarily just the kid's obviously sick,
Yeah.
but the people involved, maybe it's not just a sick kid, maybe the environment's sick that he's in.
Hmm. Hmm.
So when you approach it that way, you don't just put it all on this kid or the parents of this kid who took lives, but you're forced to look at our society and what happens around it affects things. So I mean, it's not mass shootings don't just happen in high schools. If it
Right.
was so if there's something wrong with high schools, then it would just happen in high schools, but it happens everywhere. So I just kind of thought putting it, doing it from two other people's perspectives besides the shooter would kind of open people's eyes up to that. Maybe you shouldn't be, shitty to somebody, or maybe you shouldn't be, trying to be hard and take it out on some kid.
Yeah. And that's what uh and that's really the message that I learned from that, and it was a really good song, good beat too. You didn't slouch on that.
Yeah, Harvey came in
uh,
really creepy on that hook.
yeah, that's the first thing you hear. um what what prompted you to write a song like that, or what made you want to write something like that with that
um,
kind of message?
I think number one, I felt like it wasn't talked about a lot, but not in the sense of like someone needs to say this. As an artist, you're constantly just being completely real. You're constantly looking for something that someone else hasn't done yet, and I feel like that mental health talk isn't talked about a lot. I mean, it's more now than ever, but
Mhm.
I feel like it's just that there's a bad stigma around bringing serious issues up, And I cover a lot. It's not just mental health, it's abuse or whatever in that song. And the middle verse isn't even about that. It's just about girls, in this time period taking advantage of being able to get away with a lot, because there is a lot of that these days of like, we're talking about like uplifting women regardless of what the damages of that may be. And how high do we uplift them? Can they do anything they want? Can they, are they empowered women enough to screw over Tommy for Jimmy? Are they, and I guess what really prompted me to do that is I wanted a song that nobody else is talking about. I also wanted to do a interconnected story, because I felt like that's just, with me, it's puzzles. So I'm thinking, okay, if I created it this way and with a serious topic like this, I can connect all these stories and making them all end up in the same, world, then it's kind of like my version, an MC Cashe version of a masterpiece. And I wanted to pull that off. So I eventually wrote it and recorded it. Now you have it.
Yeah, it was really good. It was really nice. And I think that your style of connecting stories and making music into stories has gotten really, really good. It's given me a lot of Stanley vibes. So
Stan Lee?
No, wait, did I say that wrong? The Eminem song.
Oh, Stan.
But I always want to think like Stan Lee whenever I hear his name. No, yeah, but it gave me vibes. Give me those vibes.
Yes, that, and I'm constantly trying to do, that storytelling rap, because even in my first album, I was telling stories like that, but it never occurred to me to go deeper on a darker topic. And I like Tony's Love, that it came out on the Erased album. It was kind of just talking about this dude who got his heart broken, and he becomes this, guy that doesn't care about any of that romanticism and stuff like that. He just sees his heart's broken, now he's breaking hearts. And, the irony in that is poetic. But I think the reason I'm getting better at it is just because I've had practice.
Yeah.
As simple as that.
Yeah, that's true.
What was your favorite part about doing the old podcast?
I'd say the planning part, the planning and setting up for each episode. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that. And then like talking about what we wanted to discuss or what stories we have for that episode. I thought that was probably the funnest part for doing that.
Do you remember the times that we would get like 40 minutes into an episode and the computer would crash?
Yeah, I do.
I think one of our greatest episodes got erased.
Yep, it did. It happened twice too.
Yeah.
We were talking for like, it was almost an hour, and it was like really flowing. It was really natural. It was just like the easiest episode we've ever recorded. And then all of a sudden, we just look at each other and I'm like, what the fuck just happened? So we tried to do it again and record it. Obviously it sucked because it
ran through it already.
We have to say it again and it's not natural. And then it crashed again and I'm just like, okay, it's not meant to be. It's not meant to be at all. I think we just scrapped that whole thing. And
yeah, we should have been doing it on Zoom, bro.
Yeah, something more reliable.
All right, so I actually picked a top. Well, let me talk about my favorite. Okay, let's not get ahead of ourselves. So, my favorite was probably the I don't know, probably listening to it afterwards.
That's
I'm
true.
really
Yeah.
weird like that. I just like to listen and listen and listen to see what.
I understand that. I like that too.
Yeah,
Sometimes I put it on when I'm driving in the car just to see what see what happened. Because like when you're in it, it's kind of like a blur.
yeah,
You don't really like think about what's going on. But after record it and then you start listening to it, you're like, oh shit, it's
yeah.
not bad. Yeah,
I'm
not
the
bad.
same way with my music. I drive my wife crazy because I would listen to the same song over and over and over again.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Very, yeah. It's crazy making it and producing it. That was and then listening to it back. That was
Yeah,
even crazy to know that we like actually talked for that long about something and then it's just there.
yeah. It's like that. I was saying, like that timestamp, that carving in the tree. It's just like it makes you feel.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Um. Okay, so I was gonna throw a curveball at you, and
Yeah.
what do you honestly think about aliens?
It's rough. I'm not gonna lie, because I think like 2 weeks ago maybe I I was in the living room for some reason and there was a like this big science, not documentary, but it was like a a feature length film almost, and
I
it was
thought you were going to say
listen, no, listen. Um, yeah, I saw an UFO, but anyway, that didn't really matter. So it was like William Shatner was hosting this group of like these super experts on finding like archaeologists and stuff that believe that there were aliens and we're trying to tie it all together, and he was like asking them questions, is this plausible? And they had some pretty weird ideas. Do you know that one guy, he's a gigantic meme where he's just like saying aliens.
yeah,
He's
yeah.
got the really crazy hair. He was in
Yeah.
that, and I was like, "Oh
What?
shit, you're a real person." But they said like some crazy shit. Like obviously, people all go for the pyramids, right? They're always like, "We couldn't have built that ourselves." There's all these like the dimensions of it or the latitude longitude of where it is equals the circumference of the earth or it's pi or some shit,
Yeah,
and we're just like, ooh. I mean, yeah, it's pretty convincing.
yeah.
There was a lot of hieroglyphs that they and like were showcasing that was like somebody holding up a gigantic light bulb, and I'm like, okay, I guess that means aliens too. It's just like a lot of stuff that you don't really think about or hear about. That's like this is way too coincidental to
Yeah.
not be real. So like I'm gonna say yeah. I think that they're out there somewhere.
All right. So,
It's
have you
kind of
seen?
weird that they like came to us and didn't kill all of us or enslave us, but
Yeah.
whatever. They
Um,
made us build a bunch of shit, but which was the weirdest thing. Um, you
there's so
know,
many things they could have helped with, and they're
I
like, guys,
know.
your architecture is not on point. Okay,
Guys,
gotta
guys,
get
guys,
this
guys,
answer.
stop. This is how you build a triangle. It's just like, okay, all right. Thanks for that little thing.
It's called
Uh,
a pyramid.
y'all stupid.
Stupid.
Like, and another big thing was Stonehenge and
Yeah.
the Maui statue heads. You know, the big on Easter Island,
Mhm.
where it's like just big stone statues of a head.
Yeah.
They're like, there's no way at that time that we would have had any technology or been able to move those things into place.
I think Easter Island's a really weird place anyway because it's like a very small island.
Yeah, it's a really small island, and the only real thing that's on it is those stone statues.
Yeah.
So it's super creepy. You need to go on Google Maps and just look at it because you could see all that shit from above. It's not, yeah. So I'm like, I guess also that combined with what we know about the pyramids, makes more sense to there being aliens. I just don't, it's just a lot that we don't know. Like, why haven't they come back, or why don't they do anything else? It
Yeah,
just seems weird that all they did was build some shit and then leave. So those
yeah,
are my thoughts on it.
that's pretty.
So
That's weird.
now give me your thoughts, since you want to throw a curveball at me.
I don't know. You really need to watch that documentary with Bob Lazar.
Mm,
Have
okay.
you seen that?
Mm-mm.
No, it's really good. He talks about working in Area 51.
Oh, Jesus. He's allowed to?
Well, that's the thing, is that they harass him, but they, like, since he went public, they can't just like kill him. And like he's been saying the same story for like, it tracks back to like 30 years or something crazy like that, because um he's been on Joe Rogan. He's like,
That's
and
cool.
it's like his story has never changed. And someone who's lying, typically their story changes over, especially over like 30 years. So
30 years, yeah.
that, I mean, it's got me believing. So I don't know.
Yeah.
That
I mean, even for like documentaries and stuff, I was still like, yeah, there's probably something out there. You don't just have like a gigantic universe and not have somebody else living in it.
well,
Some
exactly.
roommates.
That's what my thought. Like, what mathematically, like, what are the chances of us completely being alone with how big the galaxy is?
Yeah. Like,
So it's just, it doesn't seem plausible to say that we're completely alone. Now, does that mean that there's like monkeys on another world? I mean, the chances of there being other life are way greater than intelligent life.
yeah. Yeah.
So, I mean, I definitely 100% believe that there's other life out there.
Oh,
Maybe
yeah,
it's
yeah.
a fish in an ocean world. I don't know.
Sure.
But I give it 50-50 whether they're intelligent.
Hmm.
Just, I mean, you don't know what happened in, you know, 1 million billion BC of Earth. I mean,
Yeah.
that could have been a dude smoking weed that came up with the architecture for the pyramids
Hmm.
and just happened to get it right. And so when he got it
Oh,
right,
shit.
they kept it.
Yeah. Yeah. I
Like,
agree.
I'm thinking a triangle on each side.
That would be nice. And everyone's like, yeah, sure.
With a square on
Yeah, yeah.
the
Of course.
bottom.
It's essential. um, yeah, alien stuff is, yeah, I definitely agree that there's probably like not what is it, non-sentient life, non-intelligent life.
Yeah.
There's probably like four-armed monkeys or something crawling around some planet somewhere. Um, this is a little bit ridiculous trying to think that there's nothing else out there and everything is just like a big ball of gas or something that
Yeah.
it doesn't matter. Um, but there's some crazy shit going on in the universe. So
There,
hard.
like, what really freaks me out is not aliens. It's like the bigger events, like black holes that just eat suns.
Don't. I hate that shit. I hate
Uh,
black holes so much.
what really freaks me out, and I haven't heard this from a scientist or anything. Like, it's not like there's a possibility of this. This is my own idea. Okay, is that, what if there's like this pebble, right, that's traveling so fast through space, it's just ripping through everything it goes through, and it might like hit a planet, and then you don't even, it's like, when like a samurai sword hits like a watermelon,
Yeah,
it just kind
yeah.
of slides off. That's what I'm afraid is going to
Oh
happen to the
my
world. But that's just my own
god.
craziness. I mean, maybe it's possible, but I don't know.
I mean, I feel like it could be. I think it had to be a little bit bigger than a pebble, to do some damage to us.
Yeah, I mean,
Unless it was made by an alien, of course, of course.
the alien.
I get
Yes,
that.
yes.
But there's a lot of factors to that too, because it's like, that's why we have an atmosphere that helps us. Any meteor that comes to us is gonna like
Burn up.
lose a lot of velocity from
Yeah.
just being near it. Thankfully, we've been pretty lucky when it comes to meteors coming at us.
Yeah.
They usually like slingshot around. Get the fuck out.
All right.
I am wondering though if Elon's Tesla is going to hit some civilization somewhere out there in
I would
space.
be surprised that too.
And then it starts a intergalactic war or some shit because of a fucking Tesla.
Great. That's just what we need.
Well, we'll be ready by then. I think we have space guns or some shit. Or somebody's working on that.
Somebody is some smart
Somebody.
guy.
I'll work on it. That'd be kind of cool. Lasers. But yeah, black holes don't. I watched this one video of this guy explaining what it was like to go through one, and he called it, like, specifically called it spaghettifying. You just become like a noodle when you go in there. Of course, you don't come out; you just die. But the process is scary because it's just nothing.
I really hope that that's not the case. I mean, isn't it just speculation?
I don't know, because a lot of it was like research on the force of a black hole and what it does to, like, when a planet interacts with it. Or
Yeah, but they're looking from the outside. No one's ever gone in.
of course not. Well, you can't go in it and research it because you just die.
Well, that's the case, but I
I mean, yeah,
we
I mean,
lose
you're right.
connection with whoever did, but my hope is that it's some kind of time traveling phenomenon or something simple like that, or it just shoots you out another part of the galaxy. That's
That's
my
even
hope.
scarier. What? Because then you're in God knows where.
Scarier than being spaghettified? I don't know.
I'd rather be dead than lost in space.
Well, if you're lost in space, you'll be dead in no time. So
I don't know about that. If you got good equipment on, you'd have to
hopefully,
manually open up your helmet.
well, in that situation, hopefully you don't.
Yeah.
Or
But,
you can just do it the fast way to break that glass and then
ooh, that's even worse, though. You're like, oh shit, I really have to do this to myself now. I'm stuck out here with no signal. I'm dead. This is my only option.
I would hold off on taking the coward's way out till I started getting hungry.
What about when you have to go to the bathroom, though? That'd be
I
pretty
just
rough.
let it ride.
Okay, well,
I've let it ride in situations before. All right. When you're in certain situations, there's some things you just got to deal with. And that's one of them. When you're lost in space and you got to take it,
yeah, gotta go.
you gotta go.
Yeah, you're right.
Gotta go.
At least it would keep you warm a little bit. So, I mean, that's something.
Oh man. All right. Well, on that note, I swear.
Yeah. Oh, okay. That's
appropriate
what
talk.
we're leaving. Okay. Thanks for letting me leave off on that.
No, seriously, I appreciate you being my guest on here, and I'm glad we got to take a moment and look at what we've done and what we're doing.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
Looking forward to the future.
yeah, hell yes. All right.
Yeah. Thanks for having me on, man.
What?
Thanks for having me on, man.
I will. This is what? Thanks for having me on, man. I will. This is the MC Cashe podcast called Wrap Up the Month, and thank you for watching. Make sure you like, subscribe, do all that stuff that you know you're supposed to.
Peace.
Peace.